The nation stood still. The clip went viral within minutes. Jasmine Crockett's eyes narrowed on screen. The House was mid-session, but her fury broke the calm. "I will not let that stand," she declared. A murmur spread through the chamber. Melania Trump had just made headlines, again. But this time, she went too far. It wasn't just a jab, it was a character assassination. On live TV, in front of millions, Crockett, ever composed, stood firm. "She crossed a line," she later told reporters. What did Melania say? On a primetime Fox News appearance, Melania stated, "Women like Ms. Crockett are why America is struggling." The host smirked. Melania didn't stop there. "They're angry, aggressive, and unfit to lead," she added. Social media exploded. Hashtags #Crockett Strong and #Melania Unfiltered started trending. Some called it brutal honesty. Others called it coded racism. Crockett called her lawyer. Within hours, a $100 million defamation lawsuit was filed. "This is about respect," Crockett tweeted. The tweet amassed 4 million likes overnight. The lawsuit detailed Melania's pattern of malicious targeting. It wasn't Crockett's first brush with controversy, but this was personal. "You don't get to erase a black woman's legacy," she told MSNBC. Legal experts jumped in. Alan Dershowitz called it an uphill battle. But Gloria Allred said, "Crockett has a case." The damages were clear. Endorsements dropped. Death threats increased. "She's facing real-world harm," her attorney said. Meanwhile, Melania doubled down. She tweeted, "Truth cannot be sued away." The Trump base rallied. But even some Republicans cringed. "This is not the role of a former First Lady," said Liz Cheney. News outlets lit up with commentary. The View hosted a full segment. Sonny Hostin applauded Crockett's courage. Joy Behar asked, "Who does Melania think she is?" Even Whoopi Goldberg chimed in. "She was quiet for 4 years, now this." Back in Congress, Crockett was laser-focused. "Let's be clear, this isn't just about me," she said. "It's about every woman told she's too loud to lead." Her supporters organized marches. "Stand with Crockett" signs flooded Washington. Celebrities joined in. Kerry Washington posted, "This is what strength looks like." Viola Davis called the lawsuit necessary justice. Melania's PR team scrambled. They issued a vague statement. Mrs. Trump regrets any misinterpretation. But Crockett wasn't buying it. "Misinterpretation is not defamation," she snapped. "Intent matters. Words matter." The court date was set for September. The stakes? Monumental. Never before had a sitting congresswoman sued a former First Lady. Never before had free speech and defamation clashed this publicly. Legal teams assembled. Crockett hired Ben Crump as co-counsel. Melania sought help from a Trump legal veteran. Depositions began. The media circled like hawks. Every word was dissected. Crockett remained poised. "This is bigger than politics," she said. "It's about dignity." Civil rights groups lined up in support. The NAACP released a statement. "This is a modern-day smear campaign," it read. Melania's defenders accused Crockett of grandstanding. "This is a stunt," said Candace Owens. Crockett responded directly, "I don't perform, I serve." The courtroom was packed. Reporters elbowed for front-row seats. The judge, a woman of color, took her seat. Cameras were barred, but transcripts leaked. Crockett's attorney opened. "We're here because truth was twisted into a weapon." Melania's lawyer countered, "It's opinion, protected and personal." The judge frowned. Crockett took the stand. She described the pain, the sleepless nights, the threat letters, the donors who vanished, the mentors who called in tears. "This wasn't just words," she said. "This was erasure in real time." The courtroom was silent. Melania looked unfazed, but her defense felt shaky. Old footage was introduced. Melania had previously praised Crockett. "A passionate speaker," she once called her. The contradiction hit hard. "So what changed?" Crockett's lawyer asked. The courtroom braced. "Politics," the witness whispered. The truth was unraveling. The trial stretched for 6 days. Closing arguments were electric. "The First Amendment isn't a shield for slander," Crockett's team argued. Melania's team clung to public discourse. The jury deliberated for 18 hours. America waited. Verdict: in favor of Jasmine Crockett. Damages awarded, $83.5 million. Courtroom gasped. Crockett wiped a tear. Melania stood still, lips pressed. Outside, the crowd roared. "Justice served," someone yelled. Crockett stepped to the podium. "This isn't a win for me, it's a win for truth." Reporters threw questions. "What will you do with the money?" "Create a legal defense fund for women in politics." Applause followed. Melania left through a side door. Trump campaign issued no comment. The news cycle didn't rest. Pundits kept dissecting every detail. Was Melania really the villain, or just a symbol of something deeper? "This isn't just about two women," said Joy Reid. "It's about America's reckoning with race, power, and truth." Crockett appeared on The Late Show. Colbert greeted her with a standing ovation. Congresswoman Crockett, or should I say, legend. She laughed, but kept it real. "I didn't wake up wanting to sue a former First Lady, but I also didn't wake up to be disrespected on national TV." Applause thundered. Clips from the show hit 15 million views in 24 hours. Gen Z started a trend. Kriya, Shaks and Crockett check yourself. A viral soundbite. Loud ain't rude, truth just carries. Melania, meanwhile, canceled all public appearances. Trump's team went quiet. Even MAGA influencers backed off. "This one's too hot to touch," one admitted anonymously. Crockett's book deal came swiftly. Title, Unbought, Unbossed, Unbothered. Oprah endorsed it immediately. She's the truth teller we didn't know we needed. Bookstores ran out of first editions. Pre-orders surged in all 50 states. Universities began assigning it in law and political science courses. The lawsuit had become literature, a moment frozen in American jurisprudence. The Smithsonian requested her court suit for display. "This is cultural history," they said. Meanwhile, Crockett stayed grounded. "I've still got bills to pass," she said in a town hall. Constituents loved her more than ever. Voter registration in her district jumped 40%. Her approval ratings broke records. Political analysts called it the Crockett surge. She has Obama-level charisma with Shirley Chisholm fire. The Democratic Party took notice. Party leaders invited her to headline the DNC. She walked onto the convention stage in silence. Not a word spoken, yet the crowd roar. "They told me I was too loud," she opened, "so I gave them something worth hearing." It was the most shared speech of the year. Melania tried damage control, a glossy Vogue interview. "I was misunderstood," she claimed, but the damage was done. Vogue comments were disabled within minutes. A Change.org petition demanded an apology. It hit 2 million signatures in 3 days. Meanwhile, Crockett kept her focus. Her next bill, the Digital Defamation Accountability Act, designed to protect women of color in public life. "Free speech isn't free if it destroys lives unchecked," she said. The bill passed the House with bipartisan support. Even some Republicans broke ranks. "She's principled. Can't hate that," said one GOP representative anonymously. Black women across the nation rejoiced. Crockett showed us how to stand our ground and win. Student debates, poetry slams, TikToks, everywhere she was referenced. Young girls dressed as her for Career Day. "I want to be a congresswoman like Jasmine Crockett." It was more than politics, it was legacy. Melania remained silent. Trump made vague references on the campaign trail. "They're suing first ladies now. What's next?" he joked. The crowd didn't laugh. Even his base sensed the shift. Crockett wasn't someone you mocked. She was someone you feared or followed. Civil rights icons praised her publicly. Angela Davis. She stood tall where others fold. Jesse Jackson. She represents the next generation of freedom fighters. At a press conference, Crockett spoke humbly. The goal wasn't vengeance, it was visibility. We deserve to be heard and protected. This was never just about me. Her eyes welled, but she didn't cry. She rarely did in public. "Crockett tears are for the fight," joked a supporter. Late-night host coined it the Crockett Doctrine. Speak facts, hold ground, demand respect. Her followers exploded on TikTok and X. Memes of her courtroom stare flooded the internet. Her ringtone? That famous line, "You don't get to erase me." People wore it on t-shirts. Jasmine energy became slang for standing firm. She visited schools in underfunded areas. You don't have to shrink for the world to fit you, she told students. Little girl raised her hand. Can you be president one day? Crockett smiled. Can you? The crowd erupted. Rumors swirled. Senate in 2026? VP shortlist in 2028? Nothing confirmed, but the energy was undeniable. She'd gone from target to titan, from insulted to inspirational. The $100 million suit wasn't just justice, it was revolution. Melania's words faded. Crockett's echoed in classrooms, courtrooms, Capitol floors, cable news debates, protest rallies. Everywhere women were told to sit down. They stood taller because she did, because she didn't flinch, because she knew her worth. I didn't come to Congress for compliments, she often says. I came to correct the record. And she did, line by line, bill by bill, fight by fight. Crockett wasn't just in history books, she was rewriting them. The courtroom plaque read,